Well, any field that is defined or described is best defined by the problems that the field attacks rather than simply giving a dictionary definition. Since beginning of civilizations, human beings have prepared records of knowledge, and since beginning of civilizations, people have tried to deal somehow, so they organize libraries, collections, archives, and all that kind of stuff. Since the evolution of modern science, which by many historians of science think that started with the appearance of the first journal, the Transaction of the Royal Society in 1663, the number of journals started growing exponentially, particularly in this century, and they really went wild in growth after the Second World War. So there appeared a phenomenon that is called information explosion. And in that phenomenon, I've not represented only scientific journals, although this was the first orientation of information science, but there appeared all kinds of other records of human knowledge. So after the Second World War, there came a realization that science is of basic importance to the society, and especially since science helped a great deal win that Second World War. And there was a man named Vannevar Bush who was quite famous scientist in his own right, but he was also the head of the scientific effort of the United States during the Second World War. And in a relatively short but highly influential, historically influential article called As We May Think that appeared in September 1945 at Atlantic Monthly, he did two things. He defined a problem that was on the minds of many. And that problem was, in his world, kind of like his poetic words, was how to deal with the bewildering array of knowledge. And the second thing is what he did is he proposed technology, the modern evolving technology, to deal with it, and that appealed a lot. He even proposed a machine named Memex that, in his word, will coordinate, associate ideas artificially. It's a kind of free science of artificial intelligence. And he suggested all kinds of other things that machine would do. The Memex was never built. It's even too complex for us to build it today at 50 years after Bush. But what it was taking up is his challenge to deal with the bewildering array of knowledge, and that's an important and, to deal with it by applying the modern information technology. And that's how information science developed. It's basically a profession and a science that deals with collection, organization, representation, dissemination, and use of recorded human knowledge. That human knowledge is today, it was represented maybe in the 40s and 50s when it all started, basically by text, technical reports, journal articles, books, proceedings, and so on. But today we have also digital forms of this text. We have images, we have sound, so it has expanded. There was an imperative to information science from its beginning, and that is that it's a technological imperative that it works. It's driven by technology. Information science is not about technology, but like many other modern fields, it is about the application for that technology to a given problem. And the given problem, to repeat, is how to deal with the mounting, growing records of growing amounts of human records of knowledge for effective use. I mentioned that the information science has two components. It's a science and it's a profession, similarly like medicine. You have a science and a profession. So in information science, we have a great number of people who are working professionally in a variety of organizations, from corporations to universities to government to associations and so on, that deal within their field. We have people who work in special fields, medicine, law, and so on. And on the other hand, we have a scientific component of information science, and that is people who do a variety of research in relation to information science. And it's sometimes there is a tension between those two groups, like there is a tension between clinicians and the medical researchers. And that makes life interesting. An important thing to consider that information science has a social role to play. And that play is that it provides means and ways by which society can cope with its human records.